cool that way.
You're live.
Hey.
Greetings.
Greetings, Earthlings. Are you disturbed?
I don't know. Are you disturbed?
Not really. I'm having a good week.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Why are you having a good week?
Oh, just super duper productive. I've been working on, I was going to say we're going to do channel updates. I've been working on a bunch of beats. Do we want to do that now or want to do more chit chat?
No, let's go ahead. Well, it's up to you. I'm just turning all my volumes down. Sorry.
Okay, I'll talk about some updates. I have uploaded something to Patreon. I'm going to do a new weekly series. I'm calling it Sean's Weekly Oasis. And by the way, I think your Friday show should be called Lisa's Friday Oasis. What do you think?
That sounds fine to me. I don't want to confuse people with too much.
I think we should be a podcast network, and I think eventually we should diversify and invite other people to come on board and do their projects too.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I'd love to do that. Is there any way we can categorize it in files so that somebody
can do playlists? We can do playlists on YouTube. Yeah, and
that's my question.
And I'm visually distinguishing it, and I'm working on the YouTube page. I actually made a lot of progress on it today. I'm working on thumbnails for the YouTube videos, and the thumbnails are already visually distinguishing the different series. So I'm doing a different visual theme for each series, and I'm using the Disturbed Oasis concept, various applications of the Disturbed Oasis concept to different sort of aesthetic statements based on kind of the theme of the individual series. So I've been working on that. That'll probably get done this week. Actually, I'm probably going to make a lot of progress tonight because I have such momentum going that I'm just going to kind of ride the wave, and knock it out. And so the Patreon. So Sean's Weekly Oasis, and it's most of the time it's going to come out on Thursdays because that's the day I'm blocking off to do podcast business stuff. But I'm calling it Weekly Oasis because it's a written article thing. So I'm just going to fit it into my life, and I'll probably be writing the article gradually throughout the week and then put it all together whatever day. So whatever day I put it out, but that's Patreon only. That's for paid subscribers. You can pay for as little as $5 per month. There are more benefits the higher up you go in the different monthly payment tiers that can help support our work. And of course, if we're able to make this like a part-time job, we can put more time towards it, and do more stuff and better stuff and help to grow it and bring more people into the fold, that kind of thing. Diversify our own business, and then I'm pursuing some series for the Disturbed Rants podcast. Tomorrow, most likely what I'm going to do tomorrow is talking about third-party candidates for Virginia's governor's race or the executive branch races tomorrow. But I also might do plastiline, the young man in Atlanta who's been working on turning plastic into gasoline for vehicles. 2 days ago did a fantastic display video where he showed that his product can crank and run a sports car. So plastiline is almost fully here, and that's going to be great for all this ball of plastic we have building in the ocean that's becoming practical islands, So that's been a big saga too. He's had a lot of drama the past few months too. So it's kind of like a nice victorious story. So either one or the other of those stories, or both of them, I may talk about tomorrow. And then I'm working on a series about public transportation. So I've reached out to Lake Country area agency on aging. I think that's it. Lake Country. They sponsor the HART program, which is the local public transportation option here in Halifax County. Now, I believe it's limited in terms of how far it can go out. It's also limited in terms of it's scheduled 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if people need to rely on public transportation for working or something like that, people in the community who've talked to me about this issue said that's an issue going too late. It's if they need to go if they need to go to work, for example, the work is in the evening, or if they want to go to an event in the evening, something at the Prizery or downtown or something like that. So I want to do a series on public transportation, and I've also reached out to some companies that are regarded to do it well in a rural context to kind of get some fresh ideas, So I've been speaking with, they have not committed to an interview yet, the HART people, but they're going to get back to me tomorrow morning about it. So hopefully we'll get an interview with them, and that'll probably be an episode of Disturbed Rants. And then I'm also going to be working on some stuff with economic development. I'm going to email some people with the One Small Town Initiative, which promotes the contributionism business model that was developed in South Africa by that guy, Michael Tellinger. I asked James Gordon if he knew Michael Tellinger right after I asked him if he knew Elon Musk. Some people may recall he didn't know either one of them, but in my mind, all white South African people know each other, right? I mean, why wouldn't they? You know, but so he's been, they have invented something really cool that they call Ugly Betty, which, this is the One Small Town Initiative, which can very rapidly recycle plastics and metals and return them back into industrial input materials. So they're going to be marketing this, and they're going to use this as a way to do economic development for impoverished people, through the contributionism, business model. And the contributionism business model is a concept of like a village of 10,000 people. If everyone works for a factory 3 hours per week, everybody can live off the collective wealth generated by the factory, and everyone can have a high standard of living. So they're putting that idea into practice in places all over the world, like in Lebanon. They actually have an American representative who is an American who represents the global project here. And she's next on my email list. I want to talk to her about that and how we might be able to apply that model here in Southern Virginia. And then what was there one more? I'll announce the other one later, but those are the series that I'm working on for the Disturbed Rants show, my Thursday show, the one I record and then upload. So those are my announcements.
Okay.
What did I take too long?
No, I'm just thinking how loud we are.
Are we being loud?
No, our clothing. We're so loud.
Well, we're in the Oasis, right?
Splash. But we need a better background for that.
We need palm trees.
Or some dolphins jumping.
I definitely want the dolphins. Yeah. Well, we'll add that eventually. You know, that's on the list. But thumbnails first, and then dolphins.
We did not coordinate being colorful tonight. It just happened. It was spontaneous.
We're in sync, huh?
It's a new dress today, and I was eager to wear it. It's tight, but that's okay.
Yeah, like yours looks more Asian, really. Is it?
Asian?
Or yours is more Southern, mine is more Hawaiian.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I just got a thing for like 50s style dresses.
The color palette is reminiscent of like Chinese color palette.
I can see that. What do you call the thing that goes under that makes it poke out, like in the 50s? Like
was it called skirt? A girdle?
No. A tulle? Tulle? It goes...
Tulle?
It goes under your dress to make it poof out.
I don't know.
Anyway, I've got those, so I could make this poof out if I wanted to.
Okay, and then go to the hoedown?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd call it a hoedown, but dancing, yeah.
It depends on how down the hoes are. So, but
That's true.
Okay, you have announcements too, though. Website volunteers, is that the top of the list?
Well, that was one thing I wanted to ask about was, I think I may have asked about this on Friday night, but if anybody looks at the website, Halifax, FACTS, oasis.com, and I should put that in the comments. Oh, I don't know how to do it on this platform. Whatever, I'll do it later. Mm-hmm. I'll do it when I upload it to the other platforms. I'll put that up. But anyway, yeah, I'm continuing to work on that. I've got a really cool thing on the front page that says price check. Mm-hmm. And every Friday I call the local gas station, ask them cigarettes and gas prices, and I get the top 12 Food Line most purchased grocery items. Anyway, I'm tracking it because that's a big thing everybody talks about. The prices are going up. So let's actually watch that.
Okay.
The most significant one I noticed within a week were that cigarettes went up 50 cents a pack. I was like, ow, thank God I quit.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are climbing.
Which gas station do you call?
The one up by Walmart. It's Murphy's? I think they call it the Gas House.
Oh, that one next to Murphy's.
That's got the drive-through. Yeah, that one. But it's actually a Quality or something.
Right. That's a good one to call.
Yeah, that's who I call every Friday. And then to the right of that button is something called Election News, just talking about early voting has started. Please go vote. I've already voted. We really want to get involved in maybe doing some voter drives to helping people get registered. Mm-hmm. But this is a tab you can click to get all that information and know where to go, what to do, who's in what district, who's running, what race. I've put sample ballots, everything on there so you can educate yourself about that. We've also started a page for advertising. We have, and I still haven't shown you the advertiser there. I'll show it to you after the show.
Okay.
But if that's something somebody's interested in. Obviously, we have to get our viewership up, but we're climbing.
Wow, we're less than 2 months old. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're over 100 on YouTube. We're over 200 on Facebook.
Oh, you're talking about subscribers.
Followers.
Yeah, okay, good. Followers. Okay, yeah. Subscribers on YouTube, followers, I guess, on Facebook, and are we at 30,000 views total?
Total, yeah, we're pushing 30,000 views total.
I mean, impressive. You know, we've been mentioned at recent Board of Supervisors meetings.
Yes.
Like we're already part of the we're already part of the public conversation. So it's kind of like
we've been tagged on stuff.
We've already arrived here. We've already arrived.
Yeah,
we're already doing the thing.
That is something I do want to talk about briefly.
Yeah.
That supervisors meeting. Oh dear God, this one guy, your buddy, got up there and was making fun of one of our interviews. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all about. But he
was throwing shade. It was like
big time.
Yeah. He said something about what likes to look more what's professional or stylish.
He said he couldn't listen to anything because he was so blinded by Donald Duck tablecloth. And it wasn't Donald Duck. They're fish. And it's called I Have Personality.
Yeah, I mean, it's kitschy, it's kitschy. And, I think we're doing this in a great way because, as I said from the beginning, people actually like this participating in the process, participating and helping us build the thing. That's a legitimate business model that's considered to be a best practice. Yeah. We're having fun. So it's a legitimate way to do it. And there is such a thing as kitchen personality. And we will probably have a polished, like a studio type space at some point. But we're not in a rush about it. We're doing the quality of our work is in the talent and the professionalism that we bring to what we do. I mean, we're putting the correct amount of work and effort and ability into
I think we're showing things and having these videos that people want to see. They're interested, very obviously.
We're filling a gap, filling a need.
Exactly. But it's one thing to read a story, but to see a story is not, especially the follow-up. Mm-hmm. That's what I have so much fun doing. So back to the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Okay.
After that, first of all, I live streamed because I'm having a little glitch with the software on the new camera. Okay. I live streamed comments, the public comments. And I recorded the rest of it with the new camera, and it was just beautiful quality. I was so pleased with it. Oh, cool. I didn't know about that part. And I got home, and I was ready to put up part 2. Well, guess what? The microphone has its own separate goddamn power button. So there was no sound to it. All that filming and there was no sound. That's why I didn't upload it. And I put a note to that effect in the comments of the first one.
Well, do we know whether or not they passed the live streaming thing?
Yes, they did. And that will start, So that's something they're going to have.
Gordon's insider information turned out to be true, so that's interesting. Right?
He had insider information about it? Because
I asked him during the interview, because he said that he thought the transparency issue was going to work itself out. I said, so are you saying...
it was going that way.
I said, so are you saying you have insider information that this is about to be at an upcoming meeting? Yeah. Do you remember? Go back and watch the video.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Because I think anybody would have said it's going to that, because everybody kept saying it. But I digress. So anyway, I did film the second half, but I had no sound, so I couldn't post it. But afterward, they went to a closed session, and lo and behold, guess what happened?
I don't know. What?
They announced the new county administrator.
Oh, of course, obviously, because it was in the newspaper.
So
we scooped that, by the way. So we were the first. Yeah, we were the first to the punchline on reporting that. We scooped everyone on that.
We did.
And then I think we've scooped other things, haven't we? I can't directly recall. Certain things that have come out through the interviews, I would say, are scoops because they haven't appeared anywhere else in the public conversation. Certain things that candidates have revealed to us in the course of the interviews.
Right. We're in the process of it, but we're not going to present anything to you unless we're pretty damn sure or we have evidence to back it up.
Yeah, we're a very
trusty source.
We're going to apply journalistic standards.
Well, we want you to trust us. That's
hopefully, we're gonna behave in a trustworthy manner, whether or not you trust us, because it's obvious that some people are having trust issues with us.
Yeah.
I don't quite know why, but it's not, that's not an issue.
Because they got something to hide?
I don't think that's all the case. I think sometimes some people are being strategic, but then some people...
The only people that won't interact with us are board members.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Who are you talking about then?
People that you've reached out to, who you've asked for interviews that said no, or just did.
Oh well, that's if you're talking about what we talked about a minute ago. We'll talk about that.
People that I've reached out to on the side of the anti-Scott Simpson faction. Everybody has all these things to say and flaming up comments about how we're not covering this or that. But none of the I've invited all of these people. All of these people that are flaming out our comments, I have directly invited for interviews, and I've either been ignored or it's been a no.
My favorite is to invite the trolls. I've invited a troll, and of course they won't come because how many? I mean, it's so easy to sit behind a computer screen and criticize people, but when you have to be interactive or prove something or give evidence, or face up to it, you know.
Well, I just don't want to be accused of not being willing to do it when I'm putting in the effort and taking time out of my schedule that you're not paying me for and nobody's paying me for to actually try to make these interviews happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Putting ourselves in the face of criticism or, you know,
it's part of the gig, and I'd be lying if I said I don't like it because I do. But it's like, and I'm a thick skin, so I'm okay in these types of situations. But my approach is I'm just going to keep being true to the mission. I mean, I think that there are plenty of people who maybe are in demographics that maybe aren't so warm to us now that are going to recognize that, for example, my public transportation series is a benefit to the greater community. Some of the stuff that you're working on, as far as news that we might break this month, we'll have to see, is stuff that would appeal to multiple demographics and is looking out for lots of different people in the community.
Yeah,
so I think people will either see or not see that we've got the intent. We're going to look out for you whether you're looking out for us or not. You know, because like that's the right thing to do, and that's the nature of our passion. We're doing this as an expression. You know, I'm at least partially motivated by the creative satisfaction of doing the work that I feel needs to be done. You know,
I want to get to know this county because I feel I've lived here. I moved here in 2002, and I've been very remiss in getting to know the county. There's like today, I was in a place called Dryburgh. Like, what the hell's Dryburgh? And there was some interesting stories about it. A little place they call the Mini Mall. I want to go. Nice. I want to go. That's one I want to do in my little getting to know you thing. Mm-hmm. But last night I went to a candidate forum. 3 candidates showed up. It was Oakes, Thompson, and Gordon.
Yeah.
And afterward, a lot of people didn't want to talk to me or be on camera, and that's totally fine. I always ask first.
Of course.
But some of them did, and it was just so interesting. So should I go into no, we should probably
I would put that in local. Yeah, I'd put that under local.
Okay,
yeah. So I would get, if we're done with the announcements, I would circle us to national, but if you have something else, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's what I think we should do. I was going to say that's a good segue. Well, I was thinking of the Jay Jones thing about information. But
let's start out national, then state, and then bring up the candidate forum when we circle back to local later.
All right, yeah. Because I want to talk about what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
So anyway, national news, where are the Epstein files?
TikTok.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. This is so ridiculous. I think the most disturbing thing to me this week is the threat to arrest governors and mayors because you don't like whatever they say or do. Pritzker, is he Illinois, right?
Oh, shoot.
Chicago.
Illinois, yeah.
It's Illinois. He's really, really standing up. He's like, come for my people, you come for me.
Yeah.
They've been, I mean, what happened to the whole idea of state sovereignty? Isn't that what's behind a lot of this stuff, that our state has rights?
Yeah.
Our state has sovereignty. Well, it's just being demolished right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't want ICE there. They don't want this. They don't want that. California's passing some laws, this kind of thing. But just the way, I don't even have the words for it. The way this is going down, the way it's so narrow focused on going after political enemies, going after blue states.
Yeah.
You know, and what they're doing in Chicago and Portland, or attempting to do in Portland.
Yeah.
And it's absolute in defiance of the court. But the crown of it to me this week was the threat to arrest a governor. Where's this going?
When we forgot, we researched some stuff, but I'm behind on this one. So could you give some details for me and the audience? Like some backdrop?
Exactly what I said. They're trying to move ICE into Chicago. They're saying it's a war zone. It is not.
Well, Brandon Johnson yesterday was trying to declare ICE-free zones. Is that part of the story?
Who's Brandon Johnson?
Isn't that his name, the mayor of Chicago?
Oh, the mayor. Okay. Yes. Well, California said no mask, and now they're just saying they don't want the troops and the National Guard in there. They want their own police to handle anything going on. And the irony is, the murder rate is lower than it's been in many, many years in Chicago.
Wonderful.
And the people showing up to protest are showing up in Halloween costumes. It's hilarious, especially the clown ones. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's this snatch and grab of brown people. But anyway, the governor is really sticking up for these communities and these people. And this is wrong. We don't want it here. They're throwing tear gas. Kristi Noem is standing on buildings for photo ops. You know, they're refusing them service in restaurants. Did you see the video where they refused to let her come in to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. But now, because they're bucking what the federals want, they're threatening to arrest the state governor for sticking up for people and not wanting this nonsense there.
Well, in regards to Kristi Noem, behold the wonders of silicone. Okay, so let's look up the wording. Okay, so Trump threatens to arrest.
Yes.
Threatens to arrest Pritzker.
The mayor, Pritzker. It was the mayor and the governor, Pritzker.
Hopefully it'll just come up if I just say Pritzker. Trump threatens jail for Chicago mayor amid, says Illinois Pritzker and Johnson should be in jail 4 hours ago, Politico. Okay, President Donald Trump said Wednesday that Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker should be jailed for failing to protect immigration and customs enforcement officials. The latest escalation between the leaders as the White House pushes ahead on its military deployment in the city. So he's still moving forward with it sounds like. Trump has repeatedly criticized both leaders as weak, decrying the Midwest city as a hotspot of crime despite falling crime rates in Chicago. Texas National Guard troops arrived cross state lines. Texas National Guard troops arrived in the Chicagoland area Tuesday, and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth called up 300 Illinois National Guard troops Saturday to be deployed for at least 60 days, despite objections from Pritzker and Johnson. Okay, so the immovable force, the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. So a clash is coming. And then we have a few other things like escalating, in my opinion, as I've said many times, martial law coming out of the closet, because I think it's been going on behind the scenes. And when I say martial law, what I also mean is Palantir, BlackRock, the people that fund it, the military industrial complex. Like it is public and private, ostensibly. But if they're all working together and it's one big revolving door, then what's the public-private distinction even matter? It's all one power structure, one power conglomerate. That's why I describe myself as post-ideological, because whichever direction you're looking at the same monster, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. People are using different language to talk about the same force, not recognizing that it really is all one thing. But
I just see this as you're breaking the law to do something and then threatening to arrest the person. It's like if you come up upon a woman being raped and you arrest the victim. What the hell?
Sure. And I think, there's this element of, to me, the biggest danger here is we got, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, so we're looking at the erosion of free speech.
What does that have to do with Chicago? I'm sorry.
Speaking in a multi-pronged sentence here. So then the takeover of Israel's, the takeover of TikTok and CBS Paramount by people who already owned a major media conglomerate here in America who are Israeli nationalists, who are Zionists. Like that one family bought both of those properties, CBS and TikTok, within the past week, or a majority share in American TikTok.
Tie this back to Chicago for me.
Free speech, escalating fascism.
Uh-huh.
It's all escalating. So look, since the death of Charlie Kirk, escalating political violence, escalating attacks on free speech. Now we're talking about escalating movement of the military in American cities. Like what we're talking about. It's
arresting governors.
Yes, exactly. What you're talking about now too.
Yes, of course that's escalating.
What Pritzker and Johnson are doing, their part of the equation is this is sort of kind of like a soft secession. Them saying we do not recognize the validity of federal authority is a soft secession.
Yeah, I just read that.
So there are secession conversations already in California, Hawaii, Texas, and now Illinois. There are secession conversations, some that have been going on for years, by the way, some that have actually been entertained in state legislatures, like Texas. So secession conversations are happening in Texas, California, Hawaii, and Illinois now. And there may be some more I don't know about, but those are the ones I'm directly aware of.
And I don't think people are going to get angry about this till it happens to him.
Well, there's one more thing. There's one more thing. There's one more thing. Trump is talking about the Insurrection Act, and Lincoln declared the Insurrection Act, invoked the Insurrection Act. All of these, what I'm saying is like this. I'm going to say the immovable object is trying to move us, manipulate us toward something that looks quite like the Civil War. You know, that's what I'm saying. This is part of that pattern to me.
But I lost my train there.
Pritzker.
If ICE came to South Boston and went to the little Mexican store and went to Italian Delight, whose all their cooks are Hispanics, and dragged them with no due process into vans and disappeared them, how would people in this community feel?
I wouldn't like it. I would not like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the community?
Some would like it, some wouldn't.
Okay. And this is where you get to figure out what draws the line. Do we have more people that like that behavior than don't like it? I don't think we do. But unfortunately, I think it's got to happen to them before they react and
they've got to see it.
Understand that this is fascism.
They've got to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that what's happening with Charlie Kirk helps to wake up the right?
No.
Why not?
Why would it?
Because people are openly implicating Israel and openly talking about Zionism. And also the administration has distanced itself from Israel this week.
The only thing I've been reading about Charlie Kirk and Israel is that he fluctuated his messaging on it. Did you hear about the group text message that Candace Owens broke? Yeah. And
TPUSA confirmed the authenticity of it. Yeah, so he said directly in that, I have to exit the pro-Israel cause. So that was 48 hours. He also said release the Epstein files. Yeah, of course. 48 hours before everything Mossad does, CIA is involved in, and vice versa. I mean, not everything, but there's a lot of overlap between what they do. They do a lot of their stuff together. So yeah, I would say so. You know, and is the regime implicated? I mean, I don't want to go too far, but I mean, that's a conversation. Let's use the word authoritarianism. That's one thing I want to start doing. So instead of they really have blended the best practices of 20th century communism and 20th century fascism and 21st century technocracy into one thing.
That's not how people see it, though.
Well, and so
the smaller majority.
And so I'm advocating for what you're usually saying, which is I'm not going to say dumb it down, but let's use a more accessible language. Everybody understands authoritarianism. So you don't have to. So because that's what it is. This is a new form of authoritarianism.
Some people like it.
That has not existed before.
Some people like it.
So some people think they like it.
No, they look at it as daddy. They call him daddy.
But daddy hasn't spanked them yet. So it's like I'm saying the same thing you just said. When daddy spanks them, their opinion will change.
I think we're saying the exact same thing. We're saying the exact happening.
I mean, look, the spanking will keep happening until the people. But we have to acknowledge the pattern as well. That when people, especially when people in critical mass stand up to this administration, they move. They move. They go back. They fluctuate. They
kind of like the board of supervisors.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's always the lesson. And as I keep saying, even if we have to have segregated rallies where the left's on the left side, the right's on the right side, even two different parts of DC, even two different quadrants, even if you have to do it that way, segregated rallies where we don't have to worry about violence breaking out.
To have a common enemy.
To have a common message. And the common message is stop funding the genocide in Gaza and release the Epstein files. That's what we know that we all agree on. And depending on the fluctuations of the economy, eventually we'll all agree on that too.
Well, and this is a big point of this show, is to build some bridges so we can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing it happening.
I see it happening slowly. Because more people have been showing up to these board meetings, and more people spoke this month than last month. But you got to understand, the board members are playing the game, so they got their people to come speak. The side that wants to criticize this fiscal irresponsibility issue are not playing the game. They're not getting their side to speak.
I think there's going to be a big shakeup.
It's a shake is it's going to shake one way or the other. It could be a shake up or a shake down, but a shake is coming. Mm-hmm. So But
okay, let's go on to state. Yeah.
Well, the biggest news is in the election today, this week, is the J. Jones thing. And I printed the screenshot.
Explain what the J. Jones thing
Well, so the National Review, I found out, broke the story because you said, where did it come from? And then I just had this pulled up, and then we switched to that other article. So let's see if it'll come back up.
Do you want me to pull it up on the other screen? We can do that now, we're fancy.
I mean, if it'll be seamless and smooth, go ahead. But this one's a different Newsweek article. J. Jones' chances of winning Virginia AG race amid tech fury is the one I was looking up. But so J. Jones, there were some text messages that have been leaked for J. Jones, the Democrat candidate for Attorney General, and he's running against the incumbent Jason Miyares. So in Virginia, you can elect your executive separately. So hypothetically speaking, and this would be an interesting case scenario, it would be an interesting case scenario if we end up getting a Republican AG and a Democrat governor, and then probably a Democrat. If we get a Democrat governor, I would assume we would get a Democrat lieutenant governor and vice versa, anyway, so J. Jones basically made some comments that were basically it's sort of like a fantasy about killing this was a female, what was her name? It was Jennifer Gilbert. Yeah, she was I guess a Republican delegate, and they had a disagreement on an issue. And after a House votes, he was texting with Coiner, I believe it was. So are we screening? Are we streaming this now?
No. Only you can see it.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you might want it for reference. Here's the mouse.
Oh, I also have it here. Yeah.
Okay, but you can use the mouse and pull up whatever you want.
Okay. So. National Review reported Jones had sent a number of texts on August 8, 2022 to Republican State Delegate Kerry Coiner about shooting then Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert.
2022.
Huh?
I just want to emphasize it was 2022.
August 2022.
I hate when these stories come out years later.
Well, and obviously the timing of this is the October surprise that's from, let's say, the Earl Sears and the Miyares joint campaigns, So as I was saying, in Virginia, we could get a mixed executive, because each of those, they don't run as tickets, they run as individuals, So each of these positions, an interesting case scenario would be a Spanberger administration with the Miyares AG, and I don't know the last time, maybe in my show tomorrow, if I talk about third-party candidates, I should also add that in. When was the last time we had a mixed executive in Virginia? Because that could be it's very, obviously very rare. I don't know anyone who would remember it in their lifetime, But, okay, so Jones at the time had just resigned from the State House after representing Norfolk. He was expressing how he felt about the tributes from Republicans like Gilbert about the recently deceased Joe Johnson Jr., a moderate Democrat and a former state legislator. Jones disparaged Johnson Jr.'s political centrism and scoffed at the glowing tributes from Republicans following his death in a message to Coiner, which said, "Damn, that was for Mark," suggesting that it had been sent to the wrong person, according to the National Review. But Jones still referred to that POS. So it must be this wrong person that leaked it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that would have been Coiner. So it sounds like maybe Coiner leaked this to the Republican Attorney General's Association, who probably then leaked it to National Review to publish it.
They could have done it themselves, the Attorney General.
Done what? Stitched it together?
Or dug it out some way, nefarious way, who knows?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, either way is equally true. I would agree with that. But Joe still referred to that POS Gilbert and wondered what he would say about me if I died. National Review said the text took a dark turn with Jones writing, "If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves so as to send them out awash in something." And that, I believe, was referring to Gilbert's children. Jones then suggested that if he only had 2 bullets and was faced with the choice of shooting Gilbert or the dictators Adolf Hitler and Cambodia's Pol Pot, he would shoot Gilbert every time. And he said actually with both bullets. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Concerned about their violent context, Coiner called on Jones to stop the texts. Jones later called Coiner to explain his reasoning. A source familiar with the exchange told National Review, telling her that public policy only changes when policymakers feel pain themselves, such as that felt by parents when their children die from gun violence.
Just like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So Coiner hung up, but Jones continued texting, saying he was just asking questions. Coiner chastised Jones for hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. One text said, according to the publication, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. So all this happened. Obviously, it's a heated exchange after a dramatic event. Coiner has not spoken with Jones since, apart from a brief conversation about policy issues. Jones says, so I assume somebody then talked to Coiner if they're saying that.
Bottom line, though, he admitted it and he apologized.
He did. He admitted it and he apologized. I don't know if this article
He said he was ashamed and embarrassed. Because people say stupid things when they're angry.
Yeah.
Not to justify what he said.
Right. It's really sickening.
But it's 3 years ago.
Well, we both agree, Republicans are calling on him to drop out of the race, obviously, but the Democrat Party is split. I've seen more Democrats that are either staying quiet or protecting him. But the few Democrats I've seen are telling him to drop out, because this does come off as escalating violence. This is a post-Charlie Kirk assassination world now. So people that are
written in 2022.
I totally agree, but they saved this for an October surprise. You and I both agree that he shouldn't drop out. I'll fully say that. I don't think he should drop out. It's too late. It's too late in the game. You gotta, dance with the one you brought in. It's time to ride it out. You would just be throwing the race. If you switch candidates in October, you're throwing the race. So no, I don't think he should drop out.
Yeah.
Most likely. Most likely. Kamala had what did they say, 107 days, and that was an uphill battle for her. And even though they're going to be voted upon separately, these races do affect each other. So Winston Earl Sears is making hay off of this. And in my opinion, Abigail Spanberger has done the right thing. She's backing up Jay Jones and encouraging him to stay in the race, and that's the correct thing to go. If he does withdraw, it needs to be his choice. So her not applying pressure either way was the correct move. So good job, Spanberger.
Did you read his apology?
I read it, but it's not in this article.
Yeah, that's right. You just wrote it.
I'm sorry, where?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Jones said in a statement to the outlet WRIC that's Richmond-based, I guess, that he was deeply, deeply sorry for what I said, and I wish that it hadn't happened, and I would take it back if I could. Okay.
And somewhere else I read where he said he was very embarrassed and ashamed.
Yeah, and then he did also make another statement. It was a combined 2 or 3 sentence statement where he also sort of took some shots at the Republicans anyway to assert, I'm still in this race, So, but yeah, no, and I thought the statement was fine. I didn't have any problem either way against it. The text messages are gross, and this is you're talking about the top cop in Virginia. I get why this turns people's stomachs. This is evidence of some psychotic thoughts, violent thoughts. And
have we heard those anywhere before?
Well, we're at a time, again, post-Charlie Kirk world, and we're at a time as well where we're talking about cops and their pathologies.
I'm talking about the President of the United States.
Yeah, the whole system is, and then so is your position fight fire with fire, that you want sort of someone with that type of edge?
No,
okay.
Not really.
But no, I don't think
I'm just saying you shouldn't blow it up when you do the same damn thing.
Yeah, my position is don't blow it up and don't blow it down either. But I don't think you should run out of the race. And this I can see why this is going to make people hesitant to vote for him. I don't think this is disqualifying for the race or the position necessarily. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for the position.
I think being a pedophile is a disqualifier.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Yeah. So. But yeah, and to me, but anyway, interesting state story. Definitely the most interesting thing to happen this week. In your opinion, Lisa, is this going to affect the race?
No, not really.
Okay. How do you think it's going to go?
It's just more fodder for exotic headlines.
Okay. How do you see it going?
What if he's going to win or not? Well, I know.
Yeah. Well, the whole race.
She's up 10 points. I think she's going to win.
Okay.
I don't know what the stats are on him right now, and if this would, even if there was a slight change, would it affect it?
Yeah.
But I do see. I mean, look at the special elections and the other things going on that have been going on in the last few months.
Yeah.
Democrats are killing it.
Yeah.
But it's a backlash against the fascist authoritarian behavior going on now.
Well, and the fact that Trump hasn't fixed the economy yet, too. I mean, we're in October, and people wanted it to happen fast. And he hasn't fixed Ukraine.
It's horrific. Everything's worse.
He hasn't fixed Ukraine, and he hasn't fixed Gaza. So,
right.
So Trump is kind of not meeting the marks. Yeah, he's not meeting the marks, and then all this push
now?
against
32%, something crazy.
Yeah, polls are varying, but right around there, a lot of them. And then there's also just the escalating attacks on free speech, and people are getting more and more dissatisfied.
Well, this ICE situation. This is horrific.
If more and more evidence comes out linking Israel to Charlie Kirk's assassination, I mean, you could see Trump himself flip on Israel. I mean, that's on the table. And with enough pressure, like we could actually, nudge that in that direction. That's why I'm saying people should stand up, even if you need segregated rallies. If I have to keep saying it, self-policing.
When he says segregated, he means blue and red, not black and white.
Oh well,
let's make that clear.
Well, and then if you're a racist white group, you can have another very small rally over in another quadrant.
So
if you're a racist
where's
black group,
the bridge building? Where is the bridge building?
Through the internet, through the messaging.
That's so impersonal.
Well, this is just for the rallies. When you have the bridge building happens in smaller person contacts that are not likely to be infiltrated by agent provocateurs that are going to be trying to stir up violence anyway. Like, so when you do...
candidate forums in little dinky towns?
Sure, and then the podcast, like stuff like this. We get small groups. And like I said, that's why I did The Hill, for the perspective on this. I tuned into The Hill because I wanted a balanced left-right perspective. And I guess I feel I got that. But Robbie Schwab and Lindsey Granger, Robbie's the Republican, Granger's the Democrat. And they, they both said J. Jones should resign. I was shocked. Lindsey Granger is usually like the bluest. She usually be protecting the people even when they're... Maybe she shouldn't, but she didn't want to protect J. Jones. So I don't know. And I'm just wondering, does J. Jones have a network behind him? Does he have enough of a team behind him and enough power players behind him to minimize this effectively? Like that's my thing. This will, in my opinion, definitely affect the race, but I don't know if it'll affect it enough to give the win to the RAs.
I don't think it will.
And the most interesting scenario to me to play out, and I don't endorse candidates, and I'm not really attached to the outcome of this race. I still haven't decided who I'm voting for because I need to research the third-party candidates. But the most interesting outcome would be a gnat just flew up my nostril. Yeah. So
Singa.
Yeah, the most interesting outcome would be a split executive. I mean, we have not, I don't think it had been like the 1800s since that happened. So a split executive would be absolutely fascinating. So those are my thoughts on it.
Okay. There he is. There he is. There's a gnat.
Well, that might be a new gnat.
Oh, baby. Why are the gnats in here?
So
did you step in dog poo?
This is your place. This is only something
what did you carry on the heels of your feet?
No, your ginger beer that you gave me.
On the heels of your feet?
I believe my feet look...
You need to cut your toenails.
Yeah, but my feet look clean. Are we going to talk about local stuff?
Okay.
Instead
you don't
of talking
want to play?
My feet? Huh?
Yeah. You don't want to play? Okay.
Not with gnats, no.
Yes. We're talking about feet.
My feet look beautiful.
Toenails. Your toenails are so long. My God.
Well,
you must have to wear an extra shoe size for that.
I don't like the, no, I do have to do wide foot though. But no, I don't like the smell of acetone. So unfortunately, I don't do pedicures.
Clippers don't smell like acetone.
Hmm?
Nail clippers don't smell like acetone.
Well, I'll rip them off eventually. It'll happen. It's fine. I'm ergonomic. I'm ergonomic.
I'm a down to the quick person.
I'm more ergonomic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do y'all do your toenails? Down to the quick or let them go long? To me, if mine go long, it hurts my feet and my shoes.
Toenails is literally the most boring topic to me. Like, I can't imagine a worse topic. This is horrible content right now.
Boogers.
But gnat boogers. Well, that to be honest, that was probably interesting. That was probably the short clip, right? That was the gnat is probably what we should clip out and put as a YouTube short to make the shit go viral. The fucking gnat is gonna make the whole show. You know, I mean, that's in my opinion. The gnat was good content. In my opinion, the toenails is good content too. But me joking about the toenails being bad content is part of how we make it good content. Anyway, but candidate forums, you've covered 2 of them this week. How have they been going?
2 of them?
Well, wasn't Jeff Oaks' thing on Sunday at forum?
I couldn't make it. Remember?
I thought you made it, but didn't get most of it.
No.
Okay,
I talked to some
you
people
didn't make
that were
it
there.
at all. Okay,
no, I didn't make it at all because the thing I went to in South Hill, I got to see My Fair Lady.
Oh yes, I remember. I could have danced all night.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air. The Colonial Theater in South Hill is just the bomb. I love it. The minute you walk in, it's warm and welcoming. The volunteer people with their little yellow jackets and the girl they had playing Eliza Doolittle was just amazing. She was so good.
Did she look like Audrey?
She actually, she needed some meat on her bones, I'll tell you that. But anyway,
Audrey was
she was extremely thin too. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I didn't make it. I thought it was a 2-hour production starting at 2, but it was a 3-hour production starting at 2:30. So there was no way I could make it.
Bummer.
And I tried to find somebody to film, and I couldn't. I thought maybe Mr. Oakes could, but they couldn't. Whatever. Anyway, it sounded like it was an interesting turnout, especially if you watch the video of the candidates forum I went to last night, because Mr. Oakes in his speech was talking about that one. He said that Mr. Purnell came up to him afterward and said, "I don't believe we met," and shook his hand and said, "Will you vote for me?"
Okay, so this is don't be triggered, but let me point out to you that that's the critical detail that that would have changed my interpretation of when you texted me about this, because I thought you meant in the middle of the forum that Purnell was debating Oakes and asked him to vote for him, like saying like they're debating each other, and then Purnell said, Mr. Oakes, I want you to vote for me. But you're saying it like Mr. Oakes had a Joe Biden moment. I mean, Mr. Purnell had a Joe Biden moment and didn't realize he was talking to his opponent. That's what you're saying. That's
what came across to me as.
Who expressed that to you?
Mr. Oakes, you can see it on the video.
Oh, he said it in the video
last night when he was speaking to the crowd. Yes, he said it.
He said it last night, and it's on our video on the YouTube and the Facebook. Okay.
Yes, because I was just like,
fantastic.
What? That's why I'm so disappointed I missed it.
No, I think it's better that you captured it there.
You know,
I think it's better that you captured it there, because you would have had to get close to them to see. You know, they're not going to have that conversation. Is going to be changed by the fact that you're going
right. You're probably true.
That you're playing Nancy Drew. You know, so it's better. It's better that or Harriet the Spy.
I loved her too.
You know, that girl died.
No.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And she also played in Buffy.
That's right.
Yes, I love Buffy. Yes.
I think she had a medical condition or something.
Yeah, something weird. Yeah. And you know, she was my age. I think we were born the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's sad. Rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg.
That was an interesting thing. But Mr. Gordon spoke. Mr. Thompson spoke.
Great.
And Mr. Oakes spoke. But Mr. Thompson shared with me that he thought it was a meet and greet. He didn't realize it was a speech, and he felt uncomfortable that he wasn't prepared.
Oh, wow. Sorry. You know. I'm sorry I laughed.
I know. I'm like, well, hey, you laughing? That's not funny. But you know, he still made his point.
Well, you should know what you're going into.
Well, somebody may have told him it's a meet and greet. Who knows? We don't know that, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm laughing. That's why I say I don't want people to think I'm laughing at Monty, because I'm laughing at whoever. Like,
fair enough.
This is a Halifax production, honey. If not everybody knows what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody knew what was going on, it would not be a Halifax County production.
This is why we have to host a town hall. I can get a location.
Let's hope we know what's going. Let's hope we know what's going on. Yeah, we'll put the work in. We will know what's going on. We promise.
Okay, yes. But I was wondering why so many other candidates weren't there. I mean, I give up on James Dixon. I've left another whatever.
Well, are we going to do a town hall on the election, because we got to move fast if we're doing that, or are we going to do a town hall like on an issue or something?
No, I want to do it on the election, and then maybe another one on some other things. where
Oh,
you and I do
we
the
could
questions
do a
and answers.
digital town hall through the Streamlabs because we can host up to 6, right?
We'd have to go Zoom.
I can do Zoom. I have a paid Zoom.
Yes, but can Zoom go through Streamlabs? Anyway, we can talk about this later.
We would have to record it and upload it.
And that's fine too.
Yeah.
Recording and uploading is fine.
I'm totally good with it.
I personally really like the live streams.
I'm good either way.
Because I didn't understand why only 3 people showed up. Why wasn't Mr. Purnell there? And Dixon's just nowhere to be found.
Candidates. Okay. And it was Gordon.
So what I'm saying is they may not have all had the information. I don't know what happened.
Right. That's a concern. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. But I really do want to do a town hall and vote and make sure that we publicly invite them. Exactly what it is, how it's going to. We can. I think we'll have time to set one up. There's only like 3 weeks left, dude.
Well, that's why I say let's do it over Streamlabs. Like, let's just do it digitally, and
we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But we need to do that because
Yeah.
some other things are kind of calming down for both of us.
And for that matter, we could actually stream it. We can reserve the room at South Boston Library and just not make it a publicly open event, and then we could stream it like we usually stream off the
I wouldn't call that a town hall, though. Town hall.
Well, people can respond. People can respond on comments because that's the reason you want to live stream, because of comments. Yeah. So the live streaming, it makes it a thing, and we could actually even take this green screen over with the stand and set up like we do over at that table, because that space would be perfect for that. And then we would just have to sort of maybe use my tripod with the swivel, and
I've got okay,
good enough.
Yeah, we'll talk about the technical.
Yeah, so we could do it that way. That would be, if we're gonna do it at this point, that's what we should do, because it's already October.
Yeah, we want to really try to do something like that and have maybe our questions and then a public question and answer, something. We'll think of something. But like I said, both of us, we had a lot of things going on, and some of that's calming down now.
Yeah.
So
how many community members attended the forum?
It was
ballpark.
About 25, 30.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And here's something.
Watch it. Go watch it on our YouTube. Sorry.
Well, it's YouTube and Facebook. And I think it's actually on my personal page because once again, I screwed up technology and had to use my phone because I forgot the backup camera for the new damn video camera. I'm having the hardest. Hey, it's teaching an old dog new tricks. I'm getting there.
Right. 2 old dogs, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's getting there.
That's why I said we need some 20-somethings, because these 20-somethings are born knowing how to do all this new,
I know, right?
The 20-year-olds now and the teenagers now, they are born knowing how to live stream. They really are.
Well,
it's amazing.
Yeah, tickety talk.
I get how your generation felt about my generation 20 years ago now.
Yeah, for sure.
Real talk.
But I talked to several people afterward, and it was really great. One lady brought up some things about health issues and
public health. I want to cover that too.
Yeah, have you watched it yet? She'd be a great person to talk.
I've been doing the backlog of thumbnails.
She's a retired nurse practitioner.
Yeah, if she's willing to do an extended interview, she can come on my show.
I kind of would guess she would. Yeah. So, what is that message?
Public health is one of my favorite. Yeah, it doesn't pertain to us.
But it was a really good. I get distracted. Squirrel. I get distracted easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, she that was a great conversation, and I talked to a couple of older gentlemen. One of them that was did meters for Dominion or something, and
cool.
And it was real interesting. But I kept it focused on that specific community because I learned a lot about Ruritan clubs. Apparently, they're big on barbecues.
Was it ED2?
Huh?
Was it ED2?
What do you mean ED2?
That community. What community was it in?
It was Union Church.
Okay. Union Hall?
It was a Ruritan club.
Oh, Union Church Road.
Yeah, well, the community's called Union Church.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a Ruritan club there, and apparently they're big on students.
Is that Rollers District?
No, I think it was Oaks and Pinnell.
Oh, District Cluster Springs area, like Southern.
No, Cluster Springs is opposite.
I
had to go down Berry Hill Road.
Okay.
To Grubby Road.
Oh, that sounds like Oaks. This district.
Yeah, I think that was Oaks and Pinnell's
That sounds like Oaks.
I'm pretty sure it was.
And Pinnell didn't show up.
No, but was he invited? That's my question.
That's a valid question. Yeah.
So, because when I heard candidate forum, I thought they'd all be sitting at a table and then we would just present questions. But basically, it was speech after speech, and they asked, "Does anybody have questions?" And nobody asked. I think somebody asked Oaks a question once, but nobody was asking questions. Now they did a lot of talking and whatnot afterward, and that's when I got my little interviews with people. But it just was.
It was more hobnobby.
Yeah, I'd say so. Ooh, they had food and I was starving. Some really nice potato salad.
Potato salad.
Yes,
What,
that was
okay.
good.
Any
And
good
chips and
animal
stuff.
protein? No, no animal protein.
There was like those
Steak
celery
kebab.
sticks that have the orange stuff in it. Pimento cheese. Celery sticks with pimento cheese in them.
Okay.
And there was some brownies and chips and dip and whatever. That was nice. I know it's just sorry.
It's okay.
I eat when I'm at my desk in here. I just adore muscadines. I could eat a whole pack every day, and there might be some shells in the trash can.
And this is why I'm like, you're trying to blame it on my pristine feet.
Your feet
And
aren't
distract from your muscadines and distract from your muscadines.
It might be, but I'm good about emptying the trash.
By shading my nails. When you're complaining, it'd be one thing if you hadn't just complained about your tablecloth being shaded,
dude.
But you're shading my toenails when a gnat chasing your muscadines just flew up my nose. I'm just calling. I'm not judging it. I'm just calling it out.
I'm just saying.
Okay, and I have another local question for you. Oh, do you have something else to say about the forum?
Yes, I want to talk about the black-white thing. So everybody at this forum was a white audience, and it made me think. Yeah. This is a heavily black district, and why are there no black people here? Right. And I had questioned a candidate after about how do you outreach the black community when this is all looking separated, whatever. And he said it wasn't possible. And I said, it wasn't possible. It wasn't possible. And I said, if it's not possible, how does this country heal? Right. How do we get along? Yeah. I can't believe that. Me neither. There's got to be a way. But he said there was no civic organizations in the area, and it was only churches, and traditionally black churches don't welcome white candidates or something like that. So Did they try? Fair question. You know, that's me. I'd be one just to march in there and start talking. I'm going to protect the identity of this individual because this individual has had a rough year. But I actually once counseled a Republican politician based in Danville in the following way. Because in Danville, the city council elections are citywide. So you're not voting based on your neighborhood. Everybody's voting for every candidate, and whoever get the top 4 or top 5, depending on which cycle it is, that get the most votes get these positions. So in this particular cycle, now Danville is ahead of Halifax significantly on race relations. It should be said that, of course, Danville is not perfect on those issues still. Danville's the last capital of the Confederacy. So it's not, we're not asking for perfection, but not being 40 to 50 years behind the rest of America would be great. That's what I'm asking for. And let's just work on it. It may take some time to make it happen, but let's at least try, Okay. And so this individual in Danville once called me during his election cycle and said he was about to go to an event at a black church and talk to a room of black Democrats as a white Republican. And what I told this individual quite simply was that, well, look at it this way. Of the, let's say, I forget the exact numbers, but I said of the 4 positions that are open this year, only 3 black candidates are running. So these black people are either going to not vote for the full amount of people they're allowed to vote for, which I doubt that to be the case, or they're going to vote for one white person. And if you're the only white person who shows up, which white person do you think that they're going to vote for, despite the fact that you are a Republican and you admit you're a Republican? So be honest, be yourself, be authentic, and listen as well. And if there's something that you can grow upon and comment upon and say, I need to learn more about that, then say that. But it's the same principle here, you don't know if you don't try. Yeah, but okay, what's the avenue? That was the point, is that it was just a church. Well, I want to know if they even called and asked or went down or knocked on the door, or the secretary, if there's office hours, go down during office hours. But what if you say, no, we don't welcome that here? Then what? Well, then you are more justified in saying that it's not going to happen. See, I say look for another avenue. Have a barbecue. Give out free hot dogs in a public park where everybody could come. Well, I would find a way. Well, I completely agree, and I think that's going to happen. I think enough people are going to keep trying to find a way until the ways are found. Well, the other piece of this is that for weeks now, I have tried to have interviews with some friends of mine, well, maybe not anymore, but, of the black community, and they just absolutely refuse. One nicely, one not very nicely. In fact, I don't think she's going to talk to me anymore, simply because I asked to interview to talk about race relations. Why is that a taboo topic around here? Now, I have in the meantime thought of a couple other people to ask that it might be, and you know somebody who might be willing to do it.
Yeah, I've got someone who's committed to come on to Disturb Brands to talk about race relations as a local Black person. So that's going to happen. I don't know. I don't have an announcement as per the timing, but that will happen.
And I also want to delve in to get into some events that go around, or like the things that Ernell does with the Soul Fest. I'd love to get to that and do my Meet the People on the Street thing.
Local arts, like
am I going to be welcomed?
Ernell, with Ernell, yes, but well, I mean,
but other things. I'm just saying, why is this
show up?
Conflict?
Well, me personally, like I said, I was just telling and I'll reach out to some people that are in that independent film production company here that's predominantly Black, but they're very interracial, and that like they've recruited me for a part for one of their movies, and it was a great time. And so I was in the film, so I went to the premiere, and I was like one of a handful of white people there at a majority Black event. So yes, it's possible to do these things, and you just the way you do it is you just do it. I didn't even have a thought that people would look at me funny, because I'm from Danville. People don't act that way in Danville.
But my question is there something more nefarious going on? Why is there such a separation of the races here? I know that's not the case with everybody and everything. I know that. But there's an element to it. And it makes me think back to your Bailey friend being KKK. Is that active here? Is there fear? What the hell's going on here?
I think it's probably more like residual bitterness from living decades of life of like strained race relations, and the bitterness is coming from both sides. And yeah, there is an active KKK here, but I don't know how relevant they are. I mean, the most recent thing I'm aware of them doing was like at least 3 or 4 years ago. And they were going to do a demonstration in Danville, but they got somehow something went wrong to where they didn't feel like they were going to be safe to be able to do it. There was a counter protest that was organized, and so they ended up doing like a driving protest thing in Roxborough. And again, I can't remember the exact year. I want to say it was 2021. I could be wrong about that. Ooh. But so no, I'm not aware of there are the recent racial controversies, but I'm not aware of any racial terrorism here, like outright, like that old like early 20th century style KKK classic KKK activities. Like, the KKK is greatly diminished in this generation. But, I think, I think that it was a lot of like economic oppression. It was a lot of like just abject cruelty and just letting people like just hang out on the vine. There's been a lot of like years and years. I mean, the dysfunction that we're seeing in the modern board is not new. It's just like
Are we that culturally separate though?
We are not that culturally separated. Like I said, even whether you're looking at the good or the bad, whether you're looking at like the foods we all like to eat, the music we all like to listen to, the television slop that we all like to watch, and if you look at our pathologies, our personality disorders, the way that men and women treat each other, the way that women treat other women and men treat other men.
So you don't think there's cultural differences?
Here in Halifax County, all these motherfuckers are acting the exact same. They're acting the exact same. And yes, there are nuances and aesthetic differences. Yes, sure. But there is enough overlap in American culture, to where like all American, like jazz, for example, is a perfect marriage of European and African musical styles. All American music and culture can be described as blended, in that way. And so there are ways in which we all listen to similar things. We all have similar aesthetics. So we all have similar aesthetics, and like I said, we all, the pathologies, the narcissistic abuse, the petty drama, the gossip, the passive aggressiveness, all, the bitches being bitches and trying to stab each other in the back, the front, or either side. Both sides, they're all doing it. They're all doing the interracial dysfunction is happening for both sides, and the intra-racial dysfunction is happening on both sides.
Question. There's a Black guy that wears a really nice suit that stands in front of the bread place in Centerville handing out magazines.
He's the Nation of Islam.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, he's the Nation of
Islam. What's that all about?
And I'm going to shake their hands because I want to talk to them, because I want to thank them for Louis Farrakhan coming out against the COVID vaccines early during that controversy.
I stopped to get literature.
I think it's called The Lamplighter. He wouldn't give it to you because you were white? Oh, wow. Well, this is my experience.
I don't know if that's what it was, but
my experience of Nation of Islam is that the younger ones tend to be more radical and anti-white. I covered an event in Danville when I was freelancing for the Danville Register and Bee. That was like an MLK banquet, and there had been a division. It was the first one that the Nation of Islam people had agreed to go to in several years because there had been like some separation with the Christian factions, and so but the Nation of Islam people agreed to come. There's a strong Nation of Islam chapter in Martinsville. That's where they do their physical thing, and they agreed to come, but only if one of their people spoke, and they chose a young guy, the young ingenue, very talented guy, very had all the the Nation of Islam values discipline, self-discipline, poise, and posture. So they're always incredibly well dressed, and they're always incredibly well spoken and well presented. They're very thorough. They teach a lot of like focus and discipline. They do a lot of great stuff. They do some stuff in prison outreach. They've said some controversial and some stuff too as well. They're not like a perfect organization. But yeah, they're handing that out. But my experience is that older guys, older men and women in Nation of Islam are more friendly. And to me as a white person, it's like in the 20s to 30s category where I feel like, but I covered the event and the young man gave the speech and I went up and he refused to talk to me. And the other young men were like that as well. But the older men who were actually his own granddad, this young guy who would refuse to talk to me, his granddad came up and shook my hand, and then the NAACP of Danville were the ones who had organized it, and the pastor's wife of the NAACP looked at me with fear in her eyes, like, oh, this white guy's going to report that he was treated with racism, and I just told her, don't worry, I'm going to cover you right. I let him know I'm not going to trash you guys for this, and I didn't. But I've experienced that as well, but I'm surprised because these gentlemen who do it locally are older, and I have only ever experienced that behavior from the younger Nation of Islam people. So I'm surprised that he really wouldn't give you a lamplighter paper.
I don't know if that was the paper, and I don't know if that's who they were. I'm just saying that was my experience. And this has been a little while ago.
Oh, did you? So did you ask him for it?
And he just walked away. And I was like, "Can I see?" He walked away. Didn't talk to me or whatever.
Wow.
We're running over time here.
I have one more question. Do we know anything about this write-in candidate in District 6?
Did we not talk about that already?
Not on the podcast tonight, no.
All right. There's a write-in candidate. Well, he announced it at the Board of Supervisors meeting, so if you look at that video, I've got it.
So it's on the video that's on our YouTube and our Facebook.
Yes, he spoke, and they stopped him and said, you can't do that because you can't politic during the Board of Supervisors meeting. Fine, it was the rule, whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's why I don't think we can mark it either. We need to read the rules.
I've got those too. And I also want to say, let me look his name up real quick. I want to say, bloody hell, sorry, I should have had this up already. I have received the FOIAs that I requested, all the paperwork from social services about the special welfare fund, and some things I asked the Board of Supervisors for. I've received partial packets back.
Right.
And I'm going to be showing those and going over them with you in my Friday night podcast.
Okay.
Where is his name?
Okay.
Daryl Morgan, and I think he works at Lowe's.
You said he works at Lowe's.
I think so.
And he's a write-in candidate running against Gordon
against
and
Gordon
Thompson.
and yes, Gordon and Thompson. He's throwing his hat in the ring with them.
And we are trying to get an interview with them, just
yes.
FYI. Okay,
yes. So and we'll explore that further.
Yes.
And one final thing I want to add too, if anybody watching this has ever been a victim of a local scam, please let me know, because that's a portion thing. That's something that's been hot on my butt.
Call for tips, baby. Call for tips, baby. Call for tips.
I have been the victim of a scam probably twice now here, once from a roofer and once from a builder.
What?
And we're talking thousands of dollars, and it wasn't just me. As I explored these two people, I found out they had a track record of doing this. And I was sharing this with somebody I used to work with, and he was telling me about his grandmother who lost her entire life savings here from a phone scam. So I think it's really important we start educating people about scams.
I got almost romance scammed.
Did you?
Yes. This girl sent me a text saying her name was Vanessa. And I said, I'm sorry, I lost all my contacts this summer. You remember when I lost all my contacts over the summer? My phone broke. And And I said, I know two Vanessas. Are you this one or are you that one? And she sent me this picture, or I'm going to say he sent me this picture. And it was a very hot, big boobed Asian woman. Obviously,
Asians don't have big
obviously
boobs.
Stock photo. And I was so she might have been like, yeah, anyway. So we won't go there, but yeah, very attractive woman. And I was like, oh great. I'm so glad you are a scammer because I thought my memory was slipping because I thought I didn't remember this person.
How did she try to scam you though?
This was a romance scammer.
What's a romance scam?
A romance scam is when they prey on lonely people and they
Are you lonely? Oh.
Well, no, I didn't bite. If I had bitten, I might have been lonely. But I did know a girl who got caught caught up with one pretending to be an African wealthy dude.
I've had when I was doing retail recently, we would have people come in all the time and buy $500 gift cards, and somebody would call them on the phone and say they had a fine or whatever. Oh, it just broke my heart because there were elderly people who didn't know any better. Yeah. And you try to coach them, but you can't refuse.
I know.
So anyway, I want to do a series and a composite about scams. So if anybody has been a victim, there's so many different kinds.
I know I'm not the only person in Halifax that's gotten a text from someone from that African guy pretending to be a hot Asian girl. So
and the sheriff's office has released a couple scams going around on Facebook. So I'd like to partner up with them about alerting the public too, and have something on the website for that so people are aware of it.
Wonderful.
And for the love of God, educate your grandparents,
I know, don't let them give their social security number out
and they're
over the
so
phone.
trusting.
Don't let them give their social
Don't buy gift cards and give numbers away to them.
Right.
Anyway, so that was the last bit I wanted to ask. We're a little bit over time.
Well, no. Our business plan says between 60 and 90 minutes, so we're within time.
Okay.
So just say, okay, all right. Thank you guys. Lisa's hungry. We're gonna go. Bye. If you're disturbed by what you see, then we
and go visit our website.
Pay us on Patreon. We got content there now.
HalifaxOasis.com. Make sure you spell Halifax with Facts.
That's in factual.
Yeah, and I'll have this up on Facebook shortly, and